For me, there are a number of key architectural moments when we're thinking about this site. One is a reflection on what the waterfall Yarra Yarra was made of, was basalt, or what we would call today bluestone. And so when we look around the site on the South Bank Promenade, Denton, Corker, Marshall were very deliberate in their use of bluestone. When 6 Degrees and other architects were looking at the embankment just below Federation Square, they also were looking at the old ramparts, if you like, to the bridge and their bluestone. So materiality for me is really important in this site as a form of memory back to what the river once was, the rocks of the river, which means then that it would be really interesting, I think, to find out, well, where were all the other creeks that fed Birrarung? Where does the water come in? And you can actually see where the water comes out as it comes underneath Elizabeth Street into the Yarra River today. And it's worth trying to find out, well, what would the bank of the river have been like had these watercourses been exposed to us today? Because many of the buildings along either bank don't really think about the landscape. They're placed beside the river as opposed to engaging with the river as a natural feature. Now that's a challenge, I think, partly because the river now, as you see it, with the buildings, Flinders Street Station is a grand 19th century edifice. Princess Bridge is a grand bridge. But there's not, I think, an interesting or a challenging way to think about a building that engages with a landscape that's been there for hundreds of thousands of years prior. The thing about Enterprise Park is that the challenge, I think, or the difficult thing is that there are bridges, tunnels, viaducts, there's noise, there's Queensbridge, a low bridge, there's the footbridge across the river further up. So there's a lot going on. There's not a lot of softness, but at the same time there's an extraordinary opportunity, I think, here to recover a sense of the calmness somehow, where I like to think of the original name of the Yarra River, Birrarung, which First Nations people called River of Mists. And this idea of fog or some idea of water somehow informing an architectural response would be a really exciting way to rethink Freshwater Place, the Turning Basin, the place where Melbourne was founded, but more particularly a place where First Nations people met for tens of thousands of years and were able to get fresh water and live and celebrate life in that part of the river.